I
I
was waving. I didn't have a camera.
I have different hair now.
I'll be honest, I have no idea what happened. It's been so long.
It's been a while.
Sorry.
I think we're rescuing. We have to go talk to the people of this town that we're in to get like a stay of execution and convince them to not execute Nizuri and Tizzy for being enemies of the state or something like that. I just have no idea what we're gonna say.
Or break him out.
No, we were strongly discouraged to not do what you just said.
Okay, let me read this thing because I wrote a recap.
Oh, snap.
Guide you back into this story I've woven then thrown in the trash. Let's see. Okay, let's get you good. Take it to the kitty. All right. So, is everyone ready? Are we streaming?
We are.
Okay, so welcome back, everyone. Hopefully, we get back into the regular game and every other week. So we'll definitely meet this week, and then if you guys are free for next week, because like this is a makeup session, I want it to go on the. I don't know, my work schedule's all fucked up, but I want it to go back to the every other Sunday.
I mean, we can talk about it later. Jay's nephew's birthday is next Sunday, so we're going down to Baltimore.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it later. Maybe we'll do it on Monday then. Like, we'll figure it out. Yeah. All right. So, you're all sitting in a room contemplating the days that have passed. And though they were only 2 days, they seem like they were maybe even months ago. You arrived in the small town outside of Elysia called Byblos and felt compelled to stay there with what little money you have. Am I echoing to you guys?
Yeah, through Ben.
Ben's mic.
Is it through my mic?
Yep.
Sorry.
I'll mute myself. That's what...
Okay. And you arrived in Byblos and really felt compelled to stay there with what little money you have. Like, it was a good deal, and it's a halfling town, so everything is a little bit too small except for Yurik, who is thriving with the Yurik-sized seat chairs and tables. And you found the kingdom of Elysia disturbingly thriving. Its island doesn't even exist, and you're finding the people odd and their dress unusual and lavish. They all seem to celebrate leisure over anything practical. At night, though, the towns and cities are quiet, which feels good right now, especially after the long journey you've been on. Upon investigating the city, you found the castle sits at the highest peak called the Edge of the Universe. The keep lives up to its name. Mainly suspends over the cliffside. Journeying closer to it, you found posters looking for the one you know as Nizeri, but addressing her as Aranda Goldweaver, and she's wanted for high treason. None of the images and descriptions quite matched the rest of the party you're looking for, but the search for Brennick's sister continues. Found a way to make a little money, beating up a prize fighter for, I forgot the police force name, for the Edge of the Universe, and made eye contact with Rafen, Nizeri's bodyguard. Birchfruit became the muse for a clothing mogul, and you found yourself clothed with the finest linens and silks to match the ostentatious atmosphere. However, on your way back, you ran into some fanatical cultists that were ransacking the town of Byblos. You stood up for them, and though it was a tough fight, you managed to subdue them. In the end, after a full meal and some drink, you find yourself laying on the floor of the... Yurik has happily taken the bed, as he is the only one that truly fits, and it's quiet here. you think, staring at the ceiling. Your eyes might close and you might have a good night's rest. And it feels good for a moment to be in the quiet. Often paid you a visit at one point under the cover at night. He told you Nazari turned herself in, feeling it was better to live her years in prison than be unsafe on the road any longer, and was surprised to find that she would be executed. The prison that is built on the cliffside below the edge of the universe, which is dangerous to climb. And Esme agreed to scout on her own to see if she could find any lead on Tizzy and the others. You watched her as she pulled the hood over her head. With her for a few weeks, but she's still a mystery. And as you've gotten to know her, she doesn't really know herself that well either. She fits well in the party and she's quiet. And you don't think of anything. You don't think anything when she. But now it's been a day and she hasn't returned. We'll begin.
So Esme is missing. Because she was scouting the prison. We are. Where exactly? Where? I know you just said it. But...
Your suite room in the morning. It's maybe
Right.
She probably left the night before, and she hasn't been back.
Okay.
And you're sitting around, and now it's been long enough to where you might be sweating a little. She said she would just be scouting and coming back, but be a night.
How does Brennick's messaging ability work?
I could, but this world isn't very kind to my magic right now, so I will attempt a sending spell. Asking
Real quick, what level are we?
5.
Okay.
I will attempt sending to Esme and sort of be like asking her for an update, basically. Like, what's going on? Where are you? We're worried. What have you found out, if anything?
See. You anything back.
Yeah, okay. I just turned to the group.
Has been altering.
Yeah,
seeming.
the magic's been funky. So I just
was that here?
It was pretty much everywhere.
I felt like that was a different city.
It was a lot more focused in that city, whereas it would blow you up if you tried to cast a spell, whereas it's just sort of like, in general, long-range magic is sort of funky.
Okay. And did we stay in the Spiky hotel room or not? Or
You guys basically, I assume, would have gotten like one room for all of you. They're not like a lot of rooms, but it's like a suite, so you're all comfortably sleeping in a rather large room.
Okay. Did she say which direction she was going?
I would say that she said she was going in the town, so you know that she was going to be in Elysia, it sounded like.
And do we know where the prison is on the cliff?
Hard to miss.
Right, like it's not like somewhere we haven't seen or something yet.
You know where it is, and you could certainly go searching and looking. You don't cliffside, but you haven't looked at anything. You also don't know how many there are, so there's like a lot of information that you haven't found out yet.
All right. Yeah, I'm starting to get pretty itchy about Esme being missing, so we should either do our own scouting or maybe ask around a little bit. But I don't know who to trust.
It's a big city, though. Where do we start?
The bodyguard of Nizari, who was around, is... I can't figure out what his name is right now. He just talked to us and told us not to go.
Raffin?
Yeah, Raffin. Raffin came to us, he talked to us, and he said that we should be more so focusing on talking to the heads of state and getting a stay of execution or her release somehow. How, like, I don't know what would convince these people that she's not a threat to them, but...
So we gotta storm City Hall, is what you're saying.
That Storm, just go talk to them.
Alright,
You are outfitted in the fineries. You do know you have met someone who seems to be actually high up in the court. The person who's obsessed with birch fruit seemed to be able. Said that they had dressed people. And birch fruit is considered a style icon. That is canon.
All right. So yeah, we'll turn to Birchfruit, I guess, and say, Birchfruit, could you perhaps leverage your fame in this town to help us? Maybe rile up the people. Say that Nizuri was the one who inspired your true fashion, your true artiste, your muse. Something along those lines, sort of stir the people to press for her release as well.
I mean, what else is it good for, right? We can try that.
So let's go talk to your artist friend and start there, maybe?
What was the artist friend's name?
Unnamed tavern person.
Okay.
Or...
I assume it's a hashtag right now or something.
Their name is just blank space. Like they don't even go by a name anymore.
Yeah, it's more of the absence of a name, you know.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to them. And
So
this city's weird.
it's like that one place in Hunger Games. I don't know. So you actually get to their store that is just called Store. Yeah, and the moment you walk in, you're people putting costume jewelry on you and trying to drape you with more cloth. You see people in the corner sketching images of birch fruit and being like, birch fruit, birch fruit.
Birchfruit.
I pose.
Yeah. Also, were we told that, like, we can't be friends of hers because if we're associated with her, we'll also get executed? Was that also communicated to us? I feel like that was said, but I'm not sure.
Let's check.
Should that be all of us, or?
Birchfruit, you go ahead and roll a performance check.
Oh, you said intelligence check. I did not hear that. Gotcha. Intelligence. Straight intelligence?
Yeah.
Oh, +1 from my... Why do I have a +1? Oh, my
Sorry.
ring. My ring, maybe?
Yeah. So, Birchfruit, you kind of trip, and a few of the people, like, give you the side eye a little bit, but
Oh, no, I know why.
they come out and just shoo them away. So Brennick and Kuroka, especially Brennick, you see that Nizari is wanted for high treason.
Mm-hmm.
Go around saying you're friends with someone who committed high treason, and you notice that Raffin, I believe Raffin told you he had to pose as bringing her back, and he seemed to be pretty high up in the military force. So you're getting the feeling that you're friends with someone who's committed an egregious crime.
If we can't say we know them, how do we have a reason to release them is the thing. Because what she's doing is beautiful, a form of art, a rebellion against this country, right, Birchfruit?
Yeah. I have a feeling like it's gonna be more complicated than we first thought to get our cause. This cause.
Why? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just asking why is Nizzuri being executed again? What did
High treason.
Unspecified high treason.
Yeah.
Hi?
That's a great question to ask.
So I'll stroll up to one of the artists that is not the one that was super obsessed with Birchfruit, but one of the lesser, quote-unquote, lesser ones, and I'll say, your skill is so superb. Are you going to be attending the execution in a few days? Are you going to draw something of that as well?
They look over at you, and everyone's dressed like very androgynously, in these like white. Oh, some of them have like pictures of Birchfruit graffitied on their dress, on their tunics, and this one is like a mediocre artist. That 11 is like, they're all right. It sort of looks like Birchfruit, but it also kind of looks like every other Dragonborn you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And they look over at you and say, only the season.
Only the what?
High treason?
Yes.
Season.
Yes, the high treason. I believe that what it was for. Do you know what this person even did? I imagine that it must have been something quite awful.
They betrayed the brothers, of course. I mean, I don't know the details. That seems a little gauche, but they committed some act against the brothers and deserve to be executed.
The brothers being...
Brothers, you don't know who the brothers are?
I'm so
passe.
Do we not know who those are?
We wouldn't. We're not from here. I'll bet. Or at least
The brothers, Kydrum and Bosik. They own the town. They rule the town. They're generations of being kings and queens.
Of course. Thank
Of
you.
course he knows Kydrum and Bosik.
It slipped my mind. It's the morning dredges, you know. Thank you. Your work is quite spectacular. I'll leave you to it and not distract you any longer.
They cock their head to the side and say, "Tell me, how is it being so harmonious with the whereabouts of the kingdom? It must feel good to be in the past."
It is. It's almost refreshing to wake up each day and find out something new, and it's like sort of a new experience. Sort of like you're waking up to a whole breath of new color every day.
Sounds like a load of bullshit. Okay. And they go back to sketching.
Jesus. I kick his painting. No, I just walk away. Report back to the group what I found, etc., etc. Kydrum and Bosik are owners. Somehow Nizzuri betrayed them. Unexplicit thing that they did.
Maybe we
And
should
the
talk
artist
to
is-
someone who's like more in charge. Where's the main person? Are they here?
Yeah, the artist who's sketching you, or not the artist, we'll say,
It's more of a way of life.
common before. Yeah.
I think that Birchfruit, I think that you might have a little bit better luck getting some info out of these people, considering that you're so widely adored. Somehow.
Sure, but
So
it
the-
doesn't really sound like this person knows what they're talking about.
No, not that person, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's find the main one.
They come rushing out the moment they hear that you're here. We'll say that their name is Q. They could just go by Q, just one decorated Q, and start immediately by greeting you in the traditional Elysia greeting, which is like one of those like Hollywood hands together, like is
Here's what
super
we're doing.
obnoxious.
Okay, let's go. Here we are, right now, in the moment.
And when you don't at first respond, Birchfruit,
Yeah, I
because this
hold
is
my
the first
hands
time you've
out
seen
for a
this.
hug. Oh, that's not happening. Huh?
Oh, at first, that moment where it takes you a second to like respond, they look and they're like, "Is it passé? Is it passé? Is this passé?" And they're very
Oh,
concerned.
you cut out entirely.
So when you don't, in that moment where you're kind of looking back and forth, trying to decide what to do, they say, "Is the greeting passé now?" And all the artists start discussing amongst themselves and then turn back, and Q says, what brings you here, my muse?"
Well, I figured I could come back to do some more inspiring.
And that you are. Did you see our new line? And they motion over to the artists that each have something inspired by your original armor, but now just this meets Elysia. Like just lavish avant-garde outfits inspired by your dragonborn heritage.
So, like, not
Okay.
protective at all, though.
Exactly. Like if it was made out of like silk and linens and like super, like they're kind of sitting down but also look really uncomfortable.
Okay, I look at it and then I nod.
Good. I mean, it's great.
Okay, Q, how about
yeah.
we have a word in private with my friends?
Of course. I mean, is it private if your friends join?
Well, it is for me.
Of yours are people I will allow in my house. Come back, and it's this huge white space, and after they lead you back to this like apartment that is beautiful and has like gold and ostentatious couches that as you sit on are pretty uncomfortable. They're definitely for looks and not practicality. What is so important you need to adjust my ears. Please lay your blessings on me.
Is she talking to us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I do whatever I think that is. Have I seen people, like, label?
I stop. You're right. Like, I don't think he meant literally, but
A pretty fancy, like, curtsy?
Roll a performance check.
Okay. I'm gonna roll at disadvantage because Birchfruit stopped me. That's a 5.
They look very confused and slightly offended at you.
I just slink back.
Okay.
you'll have to excuse my friend. You know we're all outsiders, and that's not always for the best.
It's best for you though, Birchfruit. You're a muse. You're beautiful. You're darling. Ignore his oversight.
Okay, speaking of being outsiders, we kind of wanted to know about the goings-on in the city.
Because everything happens here.
Specifically, there's an execution coming up.
Yes! It is going to be the event of the season. What will we dress you in?
We'll figure
the
it out.
date.
We always do, right?
I heard that the captured this horrible little halfling thing. No offense to your party member there, but she just is a fashion faux pas. She can't dress herself. She's always into books. Just from that little town. What's it called? Halflings. The Biblos. Ugh, and just committed high treason against our rulers, our leaders, our brothers.
What did she
Chiron
do
Bassett.
exactly? I mean, the fashion stuff sounds terrible, but surely that's not a crime.
Roll a persuasion check. At advantage. And Ben, what's Kuroka doing right now?
Oof.
We can't hear you.
Kuroka-san.
Sorry, my phone had fallen asleep, so I had to put in my code and then reopen Discord just to unmute myself. Kuroka's too confused by what's going on. He doesn't even really enjoy the lavish clothing, so he's actually sort of just hanging in the back for this one.
Okay.
Okay.
So they look at you and take a long moment. Can't tell. You don't really know Q or anyone like Q well enough to know like this reaction. They just take a moment and close their eyes and kind of hum to themselves and say, "No, she just there's dead.
You cut out.
Yeah.
I just heard that she wanted the brothers dead and was making arrangements to have them killed."
Would I be able to insight check that?
Yeah. Damn, natural 20. So you're staring at it a long moment and you're trying to interpret their eyes closing, and you're not sure if they know the real reason. The real reasoning behind Nazari on the block. You are telling what.
Sorry, you cut out again.
Sorry. Ugh, okay. So you can't tell whether or not they are. You can tell that they are telling you. They believe.
They're telling them the truth as they believe it.
You're not sure. You're getting the feeling that like they might not really afford any further details. My gain is 2. No. Let's see. My gain is like, oh wait, see, that's too much. Okay, how's this? Nope. How's this?
Good so far. Was it all the way to the? It should be all the way to the left to be the least amount of gain or the least amount of things to trigger the mic.
Okay. All right. Is this better?
So far, so good.
Seems
Yeah.
like it's hard to tell until we get going.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you they're telling you believe is the truth. Oh, sorry, I'll just add. I'm trying to like figure out how to say things, but though you knowing Nizzuri lines up with how you know her, or what Raffen has said before.
And who told you that? Was that the brothers themselves?
I mean, I dressed them. Heard from being there, you know, it's surprising what you hear when people assume they're alone.
What do you think of the brothers? And how they're running the city?
Wonderfully, darling. It's the best place on earth. Look how we get to dress. Look how we live. This is the best, most creative place that you could ever come to. Area.
Oh, no doubt the city's great, but what of these brothers that are accusing someone of a crime worth execution?
They're powerful people.
Are they good?
My muse. Elysia means the best for Elysia. They're good brothers. They love each other and they love all of Elysia. Look how beautiful Elysia is with all of the bad stuff going on. How could they not be good if we're thriving like this?
I mean, he does have a point. What do you guys think?
Mind to ease would you know, you are my muse. Should introduce you to them so you could see for yourself. And maybe if I mean I need you to stay. I need you to stay in Elysia, but if you happen to have to go to the rest of the world, which you to stay, you are my muse. Maybe you could spread Elysia along the way.
You could do that?
But
you could introduce us to them?
Of course. You're my muse. They have to meet you. If they don't meet you, they'll be sorry.
Does that go for all of us, or just Birchford?
They look over. Q looks over at Brennick and Yurik and Kuroka and takes a long, deep sigh. You're good or capable of anything or talent.
Good with our hands or capable? Yeah, I'm pretty good at. I pull out my axe and I say, not in a threatening way. Pretty good with this thing.
I mean, it's an axe.
Yeah.
Fortunately, axes don't come in handy in my line of work. Can any of you sew or costume?
Kuroka's gonna, I guess, find some scraps. I'm assuming there's some fabric scraps in the corner of the room. He's gonna try to sew an incredibly stylish scarf. I'll say. I don't know what. I don't know what clothes are.
Let me see. Oh no, I'm. Let me see. I don't even know.
Sorry. Sleight of hand? Question mark.
General Dex.
Dex.
You could. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you roll. Yeah, you're able to sew just like enough, and no, it's okay. They turn to Brennick.
Where it is a belt.
They turn to me and they wait for me to do what? Look pretty.
You have to impress the brothers.
Okay, I will do a little performance of myself. I'll pull out sort of a tale of what one of our conquests is. I'll pull out the sort of the tale of us slaying the young white dragon, and I will inspire myself and then perform for them.
Go ahead and roll a performance.
And then I get, I think, 1d8 now, right? 25.
You weave a story so beautiful that even your party members have never heard you speak like this. It's touching and sad, but funny, and your charm just creates the room, and everyone's quiet for a good moment, and Q finally wipes a single tear coming down from their face and collapse. You might be my new. And they look back from Birchfruit to you, and then go quiet. I'll be sorry. You turn to Yurik.
Oh, while they were doing this, I had my back turned, and I was using my disguise kit, the cosmetics in my disguise kit specifically, to sort of like give myself somewhere in between like incredibly beautiful avant-garde and like terribly ghastly makeup job on my face.
Go
And
ahead.
I turn around and I kind of like vogue a little bit, you know?
I feel like in my mind you just did the Kiss makeup, like the band makeup.
Yeah, it's close to that, but maybe a little bit more colorful. And I'm trying to appeal to their sensibilities as best as I can.
Roll I guess roll a charisma check.
Okay.
I add advantage because of the story that Brennick just told.
Okay. Pretty good for me.
They look back, and then they look back at everyone else, and then back, and they say, and Q kind of takes out a cloth and like wipes off a little bit of it. It's even, it's good, a little much. You can join us.
All right. That's great.
They motion you to a dressing room, and these new silks and cloths are given to you. They're sort of like tunicky, but also like have like a weird accessory. You're to take your weapons, but they do say once you are in the chambers, they will have to be left with the guards there. They don't take kindly to people entering the area with weapons.
Okay.
Just meet the brothers with swords and axes. You could kill them.
Okay. Let's say okay to that for now.
Yeah, we should be able to.
As long as I can keep my books and my stick. I don't know what I use for a focus actually. We'll say a little like a recorder will be my choice of instrument, I guess.
So, I would assume that you watch as, ouch, as Q like grabs all sorts of like fabrics and one of two of their helpers start moving like a big clothing rack behind, and pushing it, and there are all sorts of even more beautiful, more outrageous outfits on these racks, covered in like a protection silk and then a protection silk on top of that. Just really, I'm beating this horse down, but very extra. And they uh, board a horse-drawn, like a pair of horse-drawn carriages, and as you walk, people put carpet beneath your feet to make sure your shoes don't get dirty. And it's about a 10-minute ride up to the edge of the universe, and you sit and you wait for a good 20 minutes in the carriage while everything's checked by the police. They look in, but they don't seem. No one seems to recognize you, as you all have like basically kiss, look, and makeup now. And
Wait, do we all have that?
no. You're
Wait, is this the point where we're having to give over our weapons?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're allowed to like kind of bring them, but once you hit the inner chamber, they'll be requesting it from you. All the way into the finally, like 20 minutes, another 20 goes by. Brennick, you hear a message from a tiny female voice you recognize as Esme. It says, I'm okay. Nothing new.
Just I'm okay, nothing new.
And you'll be back soon.
Oh, okay.
And finally, after another 20 minutes, so you've been in the carriage, like mostly waiting for about like an hour. You're escorted out. Palace guards who motion you into a sealed, almost like cell, and stands there, and a box falls in, and you hear behind the voice, deadly weapons in here. They'll be returned to you.
Yeah, I'll put our Kyrum in there, etc.
Can I try a deception check to convince them that my quarterstaff is actually just a walking stick? Like, pretend I'm limping and I actually need it to walk. Sorry, did you say yeah? You cut off.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is just my stick, he says while twirling it through the air. Here's my walking stick.
Do a cartwheel out of the carriage right in front of a guard, and then you take your walking stick and maybe like spin it around, and then you hit the side of the carriage, and it like breaks the wheel, and then as soon as you see the guard, you go, it's my stick.
Okay, they can have it for now.
It's a lot. All right. Yeah, so to try to sneak it past, I would let you roll a sleight of hand if you would like, but if you don't want to, that's totally.
I'm gonna kind of change my tune and just kind of like, oh yeah, sure, nothing to worry about. Here you go. Here's all my weapons.
5 minutes later, dagger, smaller axe.
I only have large weapons.
And
I'll hand over all my weapons. I am the weapon.
That's true, Mr. Monk.
well, Kuroka's the monk.
Yeah, I'm a druid.
Really, it's only Eric who's left defenseless.
Pretty much.
And you're allowed into the and you notice that this is a huge hallway, and at the very end of the hallway you see two small figures in giant gold thrones. The palace is completely white, with shimmery silver and gold curtains, and it's like a really long hallway with a leading up to them, who are sitting like I'm like 3 blocks away from you. Like it's a ways away. In the either side of the carpet, maybe 20, not like not that many, but a lot. Who looks over and sees you all standing, and this high ceiling playing this beautiful music, and they look at you and say, come, hurry. And they rush forward with their I don't remember what I was calling them. With the clothing racks, and push forward. Oh, are you hanging back?
Sorry?
Oh, he said, are y'all following, or?
We wait here for them to come to us. No, of course we follow them.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. I feel like I'm talking a lot. So they, the 7 of you get to the brothers, and you see they're both elven descent. You haven't encountered many elves, or mostly halflings and humans, but actually, Birchfruit, you would know what elves look like. They have golden skin like wood elves that you've never seen before, and they have shocking hair, and they're both nimbly dressed, whereas everyone else has these flowing tunics. They're in these tightly fitted and as they realize that these are twins, or identical twins, or maybe they are just perfect matches of each other. And they stand, and they each sort of put a hand on their hips and wait for Q to approach them.
We approach them. I'll sort of be muttering under my breath and strum a few chords on my lute to inspire myself as I talk to myself about how I really need to not fuck this up.
And they turn to you. That's a beautiful song. And they greet Q in a very polite manner. They each the little Hollywood hand thing, and Q responds by bowing very deeply and putting his his one leg behind the other, and bowing very deeply. And they don't look up. They keep their eyes on the ground until they Q, enough with the formalities. Greet us like friends. And you see as they after that. And Q kind of motions to y'all with bow.
We do the thing that he did.
Yeah, I
foot
try to do
behind
that.
with the, I know what you're talking about.
And kind of shop, like, what do you have for us? And they begin getting dressed. And shortly you are surrounded by these two royal members with in their, probably, I don't know, fantasy boxers. To do.
Hello, sirs. My name is Brennick. It's nice to meet you in person. We hear you sort of run this town, city, splendid as it is.
Roll a charisma check.
Oh boy. Yeah, straight.
Intrigued by you. The brothers, kind of their ears perk up. Brannick, you said?
Yes.
What stories do you weave, Bard?
Mostly the epic tales of the past, the present being us, and hopefully into the future of our fun group here. Hoping to make a few stories of my own, as it were, as well as singing the praises of the past.
Well, Elysia will be a beautiful melody on your, a beautiful book, 3 books, Chiron says, devoted to how wonderful your time in Elysia is, I'm sure.
A trilogy might not even fit all of the wonders in this city.
You flatter us, sir. Dang. History, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, what was that?
History, it interests you.
Yes, it's sort of an interest of mine. Yes.
Kind of history. Why don't you just live in the present?
I feel that we as people can learn from the past, not make mistakes that were done, or perhaps be inspired by the deeds of others that have already occurred, rather than just. There's nothing wrong with living in the present, of course, but I feel like you can be better by sort of studying what's been done and being inspired by their deeds.
Or you just and understand that history is just stories told by the winner.
You're not necessarily...
And just try to be the winner.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong about the winners writing the stories, but there are stories out there that are not written by winners.
Don't care to hear those. Tell us one of your winners. And Basic says, Chiron, leave the boy alone. Let him enjoy what he enjoys. We can learn so much from the past. We, because of our ancestors. Time is different for elves, you see, and humans. It's interesting what you consider the past, because we may consider it just our parents' generation.
Yes, I have quite a few fewer years than you, I would assume, so I feel that studying what's been done before me is worth my time here, my short time here.
I agree. It's important to value our time, because if we're supposed to live a million years, it could end next day. He kind of looks over at his brother, who sighs.
Oh yes, I'd heard about that. The prisoner to be executed in a few days had made threats on your life, correct?
Both of the brothers. But she's not the only one.
There are many?
Elysia is the sort of place that passion from many of our outsiders.
You cut out a little bit there towards the end.
Oh,
Something about outsiders.
Elysia is the type of place that threats from any outsider.
Oh, it was more of just a mundane threat, or was she organizing an attack on you, or I'm for the stories, of course. I'm curious.
Roll another charisma.
Yeah, I will probably inspire myself on this one.
Would I be able to assist this in some way?
Try.
Do they look like they recognize me?
Roll a
20.
you roll a charisma check.
23 for me. That's one inspiration also use. I've got one more.
You used one earlier too, right?
Yep. Technically, if we got a short rest in the carriage, though, I get them back. So I didn't count it
Okay.
up yet, but I have at
Yeah,
least
you
one
could-
more. Okay, cool. So 2 then.
They don't seem to recognize you yet. And it looks like Ben took a break. Does everyone want to take like a quick 5-minute break?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, they and they both kind of look at you, kind of give you a little bit of the side eye, and Q runs over and says, "Bertrude," and kind of clutches him and oh, this is my new muse. I'm so sorry I didn't introduce you. Can't you see how wonderful he is? Pose. Do a little pose, Birchfruit, if you want.
I guess I'll do that.
Do a performance check.
Because this has been going so well so far.
I'm on the cusp. I just,
Ooh. So you see Birchfruit kind of really own his role for a moment, and his back straightens up, and he just pulls like a very unique, engaging pose, and the brothers gasp. See why he's the muse? Yes, I know.
Oh, but I apologize for interrupting. I think you were talking to my friend.
What did my 23 net me in regards to that whole question?
Say, no. What's his name? Basic, trying on like a fur. We're targets, and we have to deal with threats wisely.
Is there some sort of rebellion she was stirring up? I say, like whipping out like a notebook and taking notes. Is there some
Also,
sort of
how did you
rebellion?
find out that this person was targeting you?
We were told by friends. I'm sure you've seen our groups walking around, the guards. They protect us, the royal guards of Elysia. And they heard that someone was trying to get some of our subjects to turn on us. But of course they didn't.
Of course not.
A wonderful place to live. And Kydrum said, we deal with their immediately. She is dangerous. If you trust her. Too.
If you trust her, she'll something too.
Two, she'll try to kill anyone she comes in contact with.
Who told you? Your friends told you this information. That's interesting. Did they have a source for that information, or have they met her personally? What are her skills exactly?
Hydrum looks over at Q. Ask a lot of interesting questions.
Okay, you'll have to forgive our curiosity. We're not from around here, and it seems rather drastic executing someone on rumors of treason.
Plus, it's such a good story. It's part of history.
Rumors. It's here. 2 days ago. Stood before a court of us, of her peers, and we saw her in front of us saying that our kingdom will crumble and it will be by her own doing.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah, I want to insight check that just to see what's up there.
no, like not in character, but I see what happened.
We don't
Okay.
kill anyone willy-nilly. We're reasonable men. And Basic says, my husband was here and witnessed the whole thing. He'll tell you too. Nick, you don't know much about what's going on in Elysia. You kind of get the gist, but seem to be hiding anything.
Okay. I must admit, you've been dropping like pretty much every other word, so it's been pretty rough.
Let me switch. Let me switch.
Okay. So what did you hear that I missed? You seem to have gotten something out of that, Ben.
So
That might have been John. Me.
Oh, sorry, John. I said Ben, but I meant John.
can you hear me better now?
So far, yeah.
Okay. It's got something to do with push to talk. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it sounds like something that we witnessed Nizari do a while back.
You witnessed.
No,
Or
not,
do
I'm
something.
not saying this in character.
Yeah, sorry, out of character.
I was talking to Zach.
Okay.
Apologies. Yeah, I understand. Gotcha. So it was yes, gotcha.
All right. I'll let that one slip. But keep in mind you're in front of all these people.
Well, I did ask for John by name, so not birch fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, all right. Good thing you're not saying that in front of people.
I don't really want to be thrown in jail.
Yeah, so they yeah, and the brothers look visibly shaken as they tell this story.
That seems horrible. I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, and we apologize for our having doubted you at first.
Kyrim kind of tries on something new and like looks in the mirror.
Also, you look great.
Yeah, very good, very good.
And he smiles and gives a little cheeky wink. They're like they're looking in the mirror a lot, pretty like self-absorbed. I mean, I don't know, they're self-absorbed. And just seem to be a little bit calmed down by your chatting a bit. Yes, threats come and go, but some you have to deal with when they threaten your family and they threaten everything you've worked for. You can't just let some of them go.
Why wasn't exile an answer for you all? Why did it go to capital punishment just because it was such an egregious offense?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
High treason. She escaped. She was on the lam for 3 months. Thankfully, one of our highest ranked guards returned her, brought her back to us. And now we'll deal with her because who knows what lies she was spreading around the world, around the island.
Yeah, I really see no reason why you would ever let this person go.
She sees things, or thinks she sees things, or tells things that cannot be true.
Oh, she's some sort of diviner.
She thinks she is. She's a trickster, and she's going to trick everyone who comes her way. No one should trust her. It's just better if we put her down.
You're afraid of her prophecies.
Kydrum looks at you and with a very like pointed glare. I'm not afraid of anyone. I'm not afraid of anything.
But you wouldn't hear her out? What was she saying?
I think I'm done here. he Boston kind of looks up, kind of obviously involved in what he was doing, and we'll let you know what we'll take later. And Q nods and does a little bow, and they don't offer to hug him or give him any sort of like friendly handshake. And Bosik and Kydra begin to talk amongst themselves as the guards kind of surround you.
A pleasure meeting you both. Thank you for all this information. I'll put it down in my book. I'll walk away.
And they nod, and you may hear, like, I'm sure Kuroka could hear this because his perception's dope. And they seem to just be talking about the Bosik's talking about the clothing and the muse, and they're talking about how much they see how Q was inspired by birch fruit.
Okay, are we going back to where are we going?
Well, I
See if
think we're
Esme has
leaving
anything to
the
report.
room.
Yeah, let's do that. I think we got the information that we need, but not exactly how to fix it.
Yeah.
We don't know yet.
I mean, yeah. We tried to talk him out of it, kinda.
Yeah, it's not really going to be possible for us to talk our way out of it. Or to
talk
talk
them
them out of
capital
it
punishment.
without, showing our hand.
Yeah.
And getting our heads cut off also.
Yeah.
Let's see what Esme has to say. I'll try and contact I forget his name every time. I just wrote it down.
Ruffin.
Ruffin, thank you.
So you find yourselves back. You get your weapons back. Don't worry, I didn't take them all from you. And you find yourselves in the, what do you call it again? The carriage, and Q is like he's kind of preening and making sure his clothes are laying just right. They're making sure their clothes are laying just right, and they are quiet as you ride back to the store. And
You know what, Q? I'm sorry. We might have had other reasons for wanting to be at that meeting.
other reasons.
Are we like? Can anyone hear us inside this carriage? Like, did the driver?
Roll a perception check. It's kind of no, even though they're the nicest digs, it's kind of noisy in here. You get the feeling like the driver's outside, so probably won't hear you.
Yeah, so it's only Q and us, right?
Mm-hmm.
We might have a bit of a connection with the what's the word for person about to be executed?
The accused.
With the accused.
What?
You put me in danger.
Oh no, not
my
you
muse,
by any means.
my muse put me in danger. I can't believe it. I can't believe you betrayed me like that. I was bringing you for good faith. We could all be executed. They start to get very upset.
Oh,
I
It's
could get executed for finding you with someone associated with the accused. Oh my god. I
we
just
won't tell anyone that we're, if we get caught, we'll keep you out of it.
please do. And when this carriage ride is over, don't come back. I can't risk it. I have family. I have people to take care of, and Nizari, or not Nizari, Arondo Goldweaver, she's not just up for execution, her whole family is.
We have to tell you that it's a little more complicated than that. Though the Aranda Goldweaver we knew, she wouldn't do such a thing. She's innocent, and we want to prove it.
I sort of like tug at Berkshroot's arm. Why are we telling him this?
Because I feel bad!
He was fine!
What did you
He
come here
wasn't, though.
Yeah,
Like I said.
continue. You're good, continue, sorry.
Why did you involve me in this?
You're not involved.
But-
I'm going to try to hold their hand.
They take it and they start sobbing into the brothers that their family's taking care of Elysia for centuries. Nothing bad ever happens to Elysia.
Except
you're
for
done.
innocent people getting executed.
They don't do things for no reason. They're not. I know it seems like we're only into the superficial, but the brothers keep us safe.
Yeah, it's not their fault either. There's something going on here, and we don't know exactly what it is, but we know that she's innocent.
Then what can I do to prove that she is?
We're figuring that out as we go along.
We have this whole carriage ride, a whole hour to figure it out. You either clear my name and we get this resolved, or or I die too. I can't lie to the brothers. After all they've given me. They've given me my name, my livelihood. They've made me a rich person. And I believe in openness, just like the brothers.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell them about the incident and how it's that we witnessed with Nizari and how it's similar to what they saw at the hearing or whatever.
You mean how her divining can go awry?
Yeah.
I've never heard of anyone doing that. That seems like it's made up.
Yeah, it was fucking weird, man.
It's almost like some sort of homebrew mechanic or something. It's craziness.
Yeah. Would that be like? I mean, with Brennick's help, because my persuasion isn't that great. Like,
Then
would we, as a group, be able to persuade them of this story?
Yeah, I'll take up the mantle and sort of. I mean, we're telling the truth. It's just a matter of whether they want to believe it. Essentially.
Yeah.
why don't I mean, I would assume that like Kuroko would say exactly what was heard in the voice, mimic it,
Oh yeah.
and then Brennick, why don't you roll a performance check?
I'll sing a little ditty on my lute and inspire myself, so I can tell this right. And you said performance.
Yeah, and they go, why do you keep singing to yourself? It's weird.
Ha!
Can I make ominous like music to make his performance sound even better?
Of course.
Yeah, those noises bring my performance up to a 34.
They look at you and they're both confused, but you watch as their face changes, and it's still slightly panicky. They're obviously you've crushed their worldview for sure, like 100%. But then they take a long moment of silence and say, I think I believe you. I trust my gut, and my gut found you, my muse. And I've never found a bad muse, obviously. But
Oh yeah.
and
I think we're echoing again through Ben.
I think so too. But we had to find out what was said. What was so. I mean, that seems like something the brothers would entertain, but we have to find out what was said, what caused them to hunt her down, and then what was said the other day. And then, depending on what happens, what was said, I may believe you, I may not. We'll go back to the store and we'll sit, and they take out their purse, and you see it's like overflowing with coins, and
None of them are like stained with blood, right?
roll a investigation check.
Or whatever it was that those weird coins were.
Oh yeah, the stupid blood coins, blood money.
Oh, that's a 12.
Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're all gold. And they say, we have to bribe someone to tell us what was said, who was there that day. Are
you sure you want to put yourself on the line like that?
I'm already on the line. I told you, if I think you're lying, I have to go to the brothers, and if this Aranda is innocent, we have to protect her. I have no choice. You've implicated me.
Will the brothers believe you if you learn the truth?
If I learn the truth, and I don't know if they will. I don't know. What was so bad that she said anything?
What?
What was so bad that they're acting like this? I think if we find out that what was said, and it seems like it is all true, our best is to get her and flee. I don't think there's reasoning with the brothers.
You want us to break into? I point to the looming fortress with there's the lightning strikes behind us. I point to it. You want to break out? You want us to break into there?
I mean, that was my original plan.
Or we try to reason with one of them. Together, Kaiju makes the decisions, but apart, I'm sure we could convince one of them.
Oh.
Let's do that. I don't want to break into there. That seems like a bad idea. I don't want to. It's on the edge of a cliff. I don't fall well.
It looks fun.
I put my hand on Q's shoulder.
They touch your hand.
Q, thank you. I know we might have put you out on a limb, but this is the most help we've gotten since we arrived here.
They just nod, and you see they're very sullen, and what's happened.
Okay, what are we doing?
You gotta find out what was said.
And then we gotta get them alone.
Possibly get someone alone or break in. That's still an option.
Wait, didn't I hear what was said?
You didn't hear what was said by Nazari.
No, it was like at the thing that happened here, not they're not with us.
Got you. I mean, Kuroka's gonna make it clear he's all for breaking into the incredibly dangerous prison thing.
Yeah, honestly, for Urix, that's probably the more in my skill set. But it's also significantly more dangerous. So.
Well, we have
so
2 days, right?
oh god.
So day 2, we did our investigation for a good amount today. It's like what, probably like 1 p.m.
Maybe a little later, maybe 4 or 5.
4 or 5. So we can sort of regroup today, do some digging tonight. Tomorrow we either, if we don't find the information tonight, we get it tomorrow. Meanwhile,
See what Esme has to say.
Q here, they'll exactly, yeah, talk to Esme. I'll talk to Rap, our mutual friend tonight. And we'll sort of basically just info gather tonight. If we fail to get the correct information, we'll go full at it again tomorrow with Q's help. We can isolate them after we find the information. And then on day 3, if things go awry, I just shrug.
Yeah, we'll just kill the brothers. They didn't look that tough, right?
No. Maybe not.
I could have just turned into a bear.
We're not murderers.
Yet. Dun dun dun.
I mean, yeah, there's always a yet with any D&D group, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the only time you guys aren't murder hobos because, like, you know what happens to dead bodies.
We haven't had a chance to really murder hobo around.
Yeah, there's not. You've done a few. There will
Okay.
always be opportunities to murder hobo.
We say goodbye to Q, and we go back to the room.
Yeah, I'll shoot a sending to Raffin, updating him on sort of what we've been up to, what we got done today. We met with leaders. Don't seem to be ready to listen. Went together. We'll isolate after getting more information on what Nizri said. Do you know what she said? End message.
Raffin responds when.
When what?
I can't respond back. I don't have another spell.
So he would assume.
Cool, Raffin.
Thanks, dude.
It's like when you send somebody a real long text.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you said, do you know what was said? And he's like, what? When?
When she, well,
Well, you can't respond. Yeah.
I was,
Oh,
trying to,
what spell is that?
I was hitting my 25 word limit probably at that point, so I kind of just stopped.
Yeah.
He doesn't know, like, what we're talking about.
Isn't he the one that spirited her out of the city after the thing happened?
You don't know.
It's true.
You never asked. Well, I mean, obviously, but
There's some bold assumptions that Brennick made that didn't pan out right then.
you return to the room and it's empty. It's just you, you four. And is there anything you would like to do?
Kuroka feels we need to form a plan. He's sort of all about using the night tonight to sneak into that prison, talk to Nizri.
Tonight? Interesting.
Not a bad idea. Even if we don't break her out tonight, if we can just get to her to get her side of the story. not a bad
I
idea.
don't know. It seems risky. Like,
Do you?
I think we should have something on our hands first before the thing that's probably going to get us caught.
Nizuri's
Yeah.
also not very good at communicating, as we are slowly learning.
That's true.
Roll an intelligence check. Everyone.
Ooh.
Cool. Okay. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh my god. What's wrong with all of you?
You're all dumb.
Except for Karoka.
9.
Karoka, as you return back to the suite, your bird ear hole catches something interesting. You're walking through a bar and you hear some tall tales that, as you're talking about breaking in, you hear like a drunk guy talking about, yeah, I broke into that prison. We've all broken into that prison. So it's just something.
Okay, so Karoka, I mean, is more confident in hearing more of these, and he points out these stories. Hopefully, people can pick up on it as well. As it seems like the prison might be easier to break in than you're all assuming it is. So, I mean, we can try the shack way, but the force way seems like it might be easier.
Also, there might be someone downstairs that might help.
Oh yeah, maybe. Never mind. That's a bad idea. Let's not ask the drunk to help us.
But we could try to persuade them to tell the story of how they broke in.
Yeah, I'll have, after he tells us this, what he heard, I'll sort of grab a few copper, head downstairs, buy him an ale, and I'll sit down next to him and I say, "Did you say that you've broken into that prison? Can you tell me? It sounds riveting, and I'm writing a book about sort of this entire city. I'm curious, how did it go down? Was it adventurous? Was it a daring escape? What happened?"
Thanks for the ale, but he's like middle-aged looking, like older than Yurik, with a big beer belly, kind of balding in places, and looks like someone's drunk uncle, really. And he takes a big long sip of the ale and looks at me and says, "Yeah, I totally broke in there. I broke in there all the time. When I was a little younger, of course. It's not hard. You just have to get." So I was my bud, Pip. He loved stealing things. He just loved stealing things so much from Elysia, and I told him, Pip, you gotta stop stealing stuff. But Pip did not stop stealing stuff. So finally they said, "We're gonna cut off your hand, Pip, if you keep stealing stuff from the people of Elysia." And man, he stole this big old thing. This big old, and he's like mushing his head and like plate. Yep. Put on your head, or maybe it was just a plate. Pip, he stole it, and oh man, he was running around spinning on it, and it was real good. You should have seen this. Pip was really funny, and anyway, I went to go see Pip.
I'm happy to let this go on for as long as.
I'm sorry, I just been trying to weave into a magical universe.
I'm so ready. Yeah.
And man, they were like, and I didn't want Pip to lose his hand, but also like Pip has got to stop seeing them. So I got a really long rope. It was like really long, like this long, And I made my sister, Agatha, hold the other side, and I went down. But you gotta do it at night, because otherwise, it's daytime.
That's such a good point.
I did get that door open, but I did get to give Pip a real good scare. And that was worth it. And the bartender rolls his eyes. You see he only has one hand. He says, yeah, you did scary that night.
Pip?
Yep.
Oh man.
Is that truth? Insight. I technically rolled a 22 with my jack of all trades.
Wait, Pip died?
No, Pip is the bartender.
He's harassing Pip. And
Pip died 20 years ago.
he gave Pip a fright, but they definitely cut off his hand. And Pip says, or you get the feeling, Burdick, that this guy's drunk and telling a bit of a tall tale, like maybe it was, yeah, but he's drunk and telling his truth. And Pip rolls his eyes and says, don't tell people to go break into the jail. It's if they catch you, they'll cut the rope and let you drown in the ocean. But if you're a good climber and you keep your eye out, you might be able to sneak a peek down there. They do use quite a bit of magic on the cell doors, so don't. Breaking out is a lot harder, and of course, we learn the hard way. He holds up his hand.
Wait, but if his hand was cut off, how does he hold up his hand?
So
You
let's
hold
do
up
it.
where his hand should be.
Yeah, his stuff.
Okay. So, I don't know. I mean,
Wait, okay, so geography of this prison, it's up on a cliff somehow? Like it's high above everything else?
It's the edge of the universe. But yeah,
I guess my painting has not been appropriately created for you. It's like the city, the castle. Let me start over. Like as you're going up higher into the city, it's like the country Monaco. Like you're driving these tight roads, and it goes up and up and up, and then it seems like the castle is floating in air over a cliff, and the cliff is where supposedly people are kept in prison, and they.
So like that. So the prison is underneath the castle.
It's
Yeah,
like
so all we have
yeah.
to do is either climb either up or down into the cliffs, or onto the cliffs.
And there's no
Towards
way into the
cells.
prison. Like, how do people get in and out of the prison is my question.
You can always do a stakeout. This guy's drunk and he's like, I totally climbed down there 40 years ago.
Yeah.
40 years ago. Alright, let's say we check it out tonight.
I say we stake out and we see if there's any other way into that prison.
I'm telling this to the group, not this guy.
yeah.
You wait till you're up.
How about another...
He.
This is all hypothetical.
Yeah, so what do you think? Because I think I could do it. I could just turn into a spider and climb up.
I mean, I'm a lot more nervous about my climbing abilities.
Although my magic's probably not gonna work close to the cell doors.
Roll a
Wait, what am I rolling?
We can't hear you.
Oh, I said, never mind.
Cool.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry. I muted Ben because of the echo.
Rude. No, I was gonna be like, oh, roll something to see, but you could stake it out. You could see. I shouldn't give DM tips.
I say we stake it out because I want to know if there's another non-climbing way to get into this prison. There has to be, because how else are they getting people in and out of the prison?
There's gonna be, but that's going to involve probably interacting with the guards in some way, which
All
we
we
don't
need to
necessarily want to do.
all we need to do is find a non-cliff wall or ceiling to the prison, as Kuroka faithfully pats one of the patches on his fancy cloak of many
you
patches.
have a portable window, don't you?
Yeah.
Nice. That's gonna be huge, actually.
What's that do?
Just creates a window.
Basically, I can put a window, or I think I also have portable hole.
That's a big
Two.
one. That thing's huge. It's like 20 feet deep.
You could put the hole. So you could put the hole underneath, and then just kill whoever you want.
Yeah. So I have. Yes, I only have the pit. I do not have the window. So I can create a. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I have 2 windows in a pit. Yeah. So I think honestly that's our best solution is finding a non-cliff wall to this prison and then breaking in that way.
Can you take the window off after we're done?
Probably not. Hold on.
Yeah, and magic's kind of doesn't
Whoops.
really work around the prison, right?
Around the cells, not around the prison.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to be close to the cells, though.
I still think it's a better solution. I mean, if you guys want to come up with another one, I think that one would work pretty well.
I could just ask Misery with my spell tomorrow. It's limited, but
How many days do we have left?
2.
How many nights would that be? Or including this one?
This one and one more, I think, right?
It's this night and tomorrow night probably. You're not quite sure.
So what we heard was like about 2 nights from now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, you heard like they set the time for about 3 days. And yeah, and so you
They
get
put flyers all around that said in about 3 days. Come to the execution.
Give or take a few.
But you've lost a day already. You've used a day already.
Yeah,
Alright,
it
let's
sounds
do it.
like we have to
Let's
do
not
this
mess around.
tonight.
Let's just
It's-
do it.
it's
Let's
time.
You
Yeah,
can turn
go
into a
time.
spider. This is the time to do it. This guy didn't die. If this guy didn't die, we're not gonna die. It's fine. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go investigate.
I make sure my pack has rope. It does.
Okay.
And we leave.
I'm going to find a list of animals I can turn into.
All right, I'm gonna give everyone a couple minutes while I go get more water. I'll be back.
We're level 5, right?
Still level 5.
You're all tangled up. Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, we'll see what's going on there. Right?
Okay. So, sorry, my brain completely did a dump in between. So you head up towards the where you believe you'll get like kind of the best angle. Probably it's maybe like it's nighttime, and you notice that so the cliffs are jagged and rocky like all around. It's pretty high up. None of it is like this part of the island. There's no beach. It's just like jagged cliffs. And you notice that there are little lanterns dotting this cliff, and everyone roll investigation checks.
I'm blind.
Wow,
Let's just go home.
We did great.
You did great. And you see like there are little dotted things around there, and it's a little too dark to tell from the angle you're at. So you'll have to get closer, but you kind of get the idea. You see about we'll say anywhere from 50 to 1500 now. I'm just kidding. There's about 50, we'll say about like 25 lanterns lit along the cliffs, and they're dotted in no particular order. But that's pretty much all you can see from the angle. So you guys can kind of move closer to get a better idea. Oh, and as you're watching, you see sometimes you see a lantern going down and then over and then down and then over.
It's like guards
so-
moving with lanterns.
So you can get a little closer and roll investigation checks again because I'm a nice person.
We slide closer.
Can I be stealthy?
Yeah, you can be stealthy.
Slightly better.
Uh,
I will also attempt to be stealthy.
Cool. So you guys are trying to be stealthy, but the others are not. Oh wait.
Yeah, no, I'm doing it. I'm rolling right now. Oh man, there it is.
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Our
Can't hear you,
investigation was a
Christine.
12.
Okay. Christine's having technical difficulties, guys.
Let's get technical.
Okay. So yeah, do you lose Uric completely? And you and all of your investigation checks are so poor that you don't find him in this in this stealth thing. Let's see who rolled the high. Okay, so Brennick and Kuroka. On this, you get a little closer, and you do see that it looks like there is, in fact, the same lantern continuing to move slowly down each of the things. And as you get a little closer, you do see like it looks like it might be kind of like one of those window washer cart thingies. It looks like this person's on something sort of like that with a pulley system. All right, so I'll let you guys get a little closer, and you can roll investigation checks again.
We are clearly missing something important.
Or perception.
Oh, I could have been doing that.
Oh yeah, not that. Yeah, I'll give it a perception. Oh, still bad.
I blame on it that it's dark out and I'm a human. I can't see.
I'm much better at perception than investigation. These bird eyes.
Plus, you rolled a natural 20. So now with this kind of like idea of how the everything is moving, Kuroka, you see that that the cells are actually carved out of stone, like inside the cliff face, and it looks like there's small rooms or something, and the lanterns seem to indicate. You see, that's where this guard is stopping, and he seems to be opening the gate or like sliding something in, and then moving on to the next one. And he's doing it slowly, taking about 10 minutes for each one. And you see, there's like again about 25 people.
There's about 25 different little pulley systems going on.
No, 25 lanterns. And there's this guy seems to be on a pulley system, but it looks like he's maybe delivering something to each.
Probably something like food.
Probably food. You're not. I mean, it's a great roll, but you're not.
Everything.
We have no idea what cell
Yeah.
she's in, do we?
Cool. But
Chicken cordon bleu.
but also, is he the only guard that we seem to be able to see?
Um,
Like the man guard?
that's a great question. So, we'll say that it's. It seems to be a couple people up at the top, and then this one person right now.
Got you.
And you do see that it's very steep, and you just see the way he's climbing on it. Or sorry, he's using this pulley system that goes left and right and up and down. But you can't really, like, you kind of get the idea that maybe you could do it on foot, but you're not quite sure.
Got you. My other question, this pulley system, he's like controlling it, right? There's no like weird kind of lever system up at the top where someone else is controlling it for him.
It seems like maybe they're working.
Got you. Got you. So quietly using hand signals and very small like noises, I guess I point this out to the party. And sort of recommend we sneak up on the people who are not part of the pulley system and just push them off the cliff.
The what?
The 5
Wait,
guards. I'm
wait.
assuming. So if correct me if I'm wrong, Christine. There's 5 guards hanging on along the edge of the cliff, and 1 guy on a pulley system going down the cliff.
I don't know where you're getting these 5 guys.
Yeah, I
I
heard
asked-
25.
They're like 25 lantern things, like by. You get the feeling that they're 25 maybe inmates. You see some lanterns not lit, but there are 25 lit ones sprinkled along the cliff, kind of like. You get the idea that these are where maybe the cells, like where each of the prisoners
Gotcha.
are. And then at the
Right.
top, you see 2 people from where you're standing. Maybe you're looking, and you can just see the top of the cliff and then him.
Gotcha.
And I would say you guys are far enough to have like a real conversation, and they can't hear you. But to like, because you're observing. But if you're not observing like looking straight down, like you're observing from a good angle. You're looking across like ocean, I guess.
So I guess also just because I'm starting to get confused here. Am I standing on the top of the cliff and like the pulley system is going down, or am I standing on the ground and like there's a high cliff above me that all this is happening in?
Like you're so if the cliff we'll say like if the cliff is making some sort of like almost like the land around it is making almost like a C. Like
Okay.
you're looking from the bottom of the sea, like the letter C, and you're looking over, like you're looking from one cliff to the other side.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, you're not at the top looking straight down because then you wouldn't see anything. You just see, but you're kind of, you guys found a good
Okay.
angle to see it.
Then I point this out, but see what the rest of the party wants.
What's the scale like? How far across are the cells? You know?
It looks like it's taking up like the entire like cliff space that you can see. It doesn't. It looks like they're pretty small rooms. Yeah, it's quite wide and very very tall.
Like maybe 200 feet, 200 feet.
Yeah, that's a good number.
I don't know if it's worth it to burn a spell, Zach, but can you try to message Nizri to like snuff her torch or something?
I
So we
am
know it's in
fresh out.
Uh,
Unfortunately, I'm a little too tired for that spell again. It takes a lot out of me.
sure.
Does like it make sense what you're seeing and what the cells look like?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in order for us to get to those cliffs, like, there's probably not an easy way. That's my concern. Like, would we have to go through the palace or like?
It's so with that roll, you can definitely tell that it's separate from the palace. Like the palace is just happens to be like hovering near it. But you see that there's like maybe I guess spiky fence along the top of the cliffs. But you have to get over to that side to check out more of it.
Got you. And how would I get over to that side?
Walk.
Okay.
Like it's like it's not yeah, it's like if you like hike over there you can get a better idea.
Okay, so why don't we just go hike over there?
Yeah, let's see which way we're gonna attack this. We're pretty stealthy, so let's approach.
Okay, I mean I'm gonna go if Yurik's gonna follow me.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll wander over. Stealthily.
Yeah, I was trying to find a picture but I can't because I made it up in my head. Because people don't build prisons and cliffs apparently. Okay, so Ben, do you mind muting your mic?
Give me a second.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, so we go forward.
We agree, so we do it.
Yes. Just a second. Okay. Got it. Okay. So you kind of get closer and it takes you maybe like an hour to walk around and to this other side of the cliff kind of. This is where if you were rock climbing you would rappel from the top down, And you see that there is a guardhouse. It looks like it's maybe oh my god, my brain is so fried. I'm so sorry. It's like maybe the size of like a townhome. It's not very large. Maybe like 20 feet wide. And you see people moving inside of it. And to the best of your knowledge, you guys are pretty quiet right now. And it's surprisingly not as heavy guarded as you would expect, maybe, but you see like the spiky rails on one side, and you see that the you kind of you're close enough to hear them kind of saying like pull left, right, and yelling uh like uh little closer, further over. So you see these two people at the top kind of moving in tandem, and then you hear the person below shouting up every once in a while.
So it's basically somebody is controlling. There's people controlling the pulleys, and then there's the people on the platform of the pulley.
Yes.
Okay.
And the cells are below us right now?
Yes. You are maybe, we'll say about, I don't know how far away you want to be from the guardhouse, but maybe 100 feet from the guardhouse. And it's quiet, so you can hear them yelling back and forth.
Is there somewhere to stand on the cells or in front of the cells apart from the platform thing?
You like, I would say yeah, they probably carved out like a little space in front of each of the cells.
Are there any? Do there seem to be any platforms that are unmanned? Like that are not in use?
Ooh. So that would have been a great investigation check when you weren't above it. But I guess you're right there. Roll a perception check, Yurik, for that question.
Bad lyric.
Oh.
Dumb boy.
You think it? You're just very interested in this pulley system. You're in love.
I assume we can hear the pulleys though.
Yeah. You can hear them like yelling back and forth.
Somebody said pulleys, and I thought they said police. So now I got scared.
Yeah, I think they're gonna hear us if we try to operate the pulleys. Even if there was another platform.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking somehow we distract them. But there's a lot of them to distract, I guess. Are they saying anything like, lunch break is in 20 minutes or anything like that?
No, they're just talking back and forth. You see, like you're on a field. Like if you looked up, there's the road up to the edge of the universe. You're looking straight on like a small guardhouse that's like almost like a lighthouse with an adjacent little building next to it. You do see people moving in and out of there. You hear these guards continuing. You quickly understand that it is dinner time. And yeah. And there aren't guards like up at the front. It seems like they're all in this house. And you're just like pulley.
okay, here's what I suggest. we wait for them to finish their dinner round, and then me and or Kuroka will climb down and like poke at each, well, peek into each of these cells.
I'll stay here. Good plan.
Oh wait, but Christine, you just said that there's nobody in the main uh entrance thing because they're all preoccupied. Is that what you just said?
No, I said that you see that there are people moving back and forth in that building,
Right.
but there
Yeah,
aren't.
let's
like-
steer clear.
but there
of
are
that building as
guards
much as we can.
patrolling the area.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty good plan, though.
Do the
Wait,
spider thing. You can spider for a really long time, right? That's what you said.
Yeah, I have 2 hours. I have 2 hours, and I can move as a regular tiny spider, 20 feet per round.
How
You're
about-
immediately eaten by a bird. No, I'm just kidding. What if that was it? No. Yeah.
Still gonna hit the AC. Gotta roll that attack. Let me see it. Vicious mockery. Mock the bird.
I'm just kidding. All right. So, are you going to be a tiny spider?
Yeah, is 40 feet per round? Does that look like it's gonna be enough to go through all the cells?
40 feet per round. So,
Yeah,
How-
assuming I dash.
You got 2
'Cause
hours.
it's
There's
20
plenty
feet.
of time. There's plenty of time.
Yeah.
yeah, you as a spider, I mean, you have those sticky feet, so you could definitely have enough time to look with your ability to move. I don't know how fast spiders move, but I feel like that's fast.
You ever
So-
slap at a spider, you miss it, and then it's gone? That's how fast spiders move.
They literally have stats. So I use those stats.
Yeah, I mean that's quick. It's like a running real fast. Yeah, so you turn into spider and go ahead and
Oh, before I go, what questions did we want to ask Nazari? So I don't forget.
keep in mind as a spider you wouldn't be able to communicate with her.
Yeah, I haven't gone yet.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's why I asked if there was something to stand on in front of the cells.
like a windowsill or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a slight. I thought I answered it. There's like a little space to stand in
Yeah.
front of each of those.
So I think this will work. But yeah, what do I wanna do? I just ask her what exactly happened that during that the incident where she had to escape the city?
Yeah, get her side of the story here. I think is that would be the best thing, and see if she knows of any. If she's been locked up for a little bit now, and see if she's noticed any patterns or anything like that.
Also, is Tizzy in there?
Yeah, what
Just
happened
let
with
me know
Tizzy?
what the deals with that.
I posted something.
Oh yeah.
In the
Also look
Discord.
for what does Tizzy look like? We've never met.
It's just Brennick with curls. Come on, it's not that.
You look for Brennick in a wig.
Exactly.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'll do it.
You do it, so it no. So it takes you quite a bit of time to investigate each of these places. Roll. I'm gonna roll a perception check to see how fast it takes you.
Ugh.
So it takes you the better part of 2 hours. You kind of lose your like lose your way a little bit. You
I'll
like
just
get a
cast
little disoriented.
beast shape again on the way back if I have to.
Yeah, but I mean, after I'm just saying, like it takes about 2 hours for you to finally lay your 8 eyes on someone who looks like Misery. She's curled up in the corner, and you kind of scope it out. And oh yeah, by this time the guard is done. The guards are done, and the team at the top would see all of the guards go into the house, and 2 guards come out to kind of just stand at the top and chat.
We push
You
them
hear
off.
about. Okay, roll a.
I couldn't. The shove. I'm so bad at shoving.
Yeah, you hear them like talk about like one of them has severe marital problems, and the other has. We'll touch back on that actually. So you finally find the little halfling crumpled in the corner, the food untouched, and you hear just quiet tears.
What's a good sound that's not me yelling to draw attention to myself?
Are you asking us or musing aloud?
Little of both.
A short.
They can't
you
help
know
you.
Oh yeah, I can't ask anyone. Would I be able to? I'm going to try to cast Druidcraft through the cell.
Okay. Are you bamfing out of your spider form?
Yeah, while standing on the little platform thing.
So you kind of hold onto the iron doors and bamf out, and you hear Nizeri doesn't look up, even though the moon's coming in and blocking her view. She doesn't look up.
That's a good smell. How about some bacon?
Oh,
I'm gonna
some
make the
bacon.
smell of bacon at like around where she is.
Probably eating
She-
bacon when she first met us too.
Yeah.
You hear her say, "I said I'm not hungry." She looks up.
Up towards me.
Yes.
Okay, I wave.
She kind of gives you a weird look and like barely starts to come out. Birch fruit? Is that
Yeah.
you? She runs to the gates and grabs your hands. All the NPCs love grabbing birch fruit.
He's so earthy, crunchy.
He's so lovable. No, I mean he's just there. What are you? How did you? Am I dead? How did you get here?
Oh no, if you were dead, I would not be who you see first. I'm pretty sure.
She laughs. What are you doing here?
Oh, well, we're kinda here to get you out. Or at least get you not executed.
It's no use. They found me guilty.
Well, we might be able to, change that. But we'll need your help a bit.
Okay, what? I deserve any punishment they give me, though.
We beg to differ.
I'm not safe anywhere here. Birchfruit, I'm wanted for dead, and out there I wasn't safe. You couldn't protect me. No one can.
We'll figure something out, but we have to get you out of here first.
How?
Well, first you have to tell us what exactly led to you being, having to leave the city in the first place.
Well, I was a scholar for a very long time. all of my family are scholars. They've been for generations we've studied the texts and history. It's probably why I got along so well with Brennick. I wanted to know everything about our island, and when the bad things happened, I watched as I lost family and friends, and Elysia seemed okay. And finally, I discovered. I thought that maybe there was something magical about Elysia, and I went to present it to the courts, and one of those spells took me over. You saw it, and
Yeah.
whatever I said scared them. I mean, Raffen told me later he was there. He watched as I shuddered and said that he's coming. He's going to kill everyone. And he won't be happy until everyone is dead. Especially you brothers. And you know, I don't know how I said it or why, and I fainted, and next thing I knew I was on the back of a horse, and Raffen was getting me out of there.
Have you told him this? Have you testified like this part of the story?
They said I was treason, that I committed treason, and okay, so the story is that they said that they would put me in jail because revelations like this aren't wanted here, and I thought that they were just going to put me in jail when I came back, but as soon as I came back, they said that I would be executed. They gave me one more chance to come clean and tell them what I was thinking or tell them what was going on, and I guess I fell into another spell because I just woke up back in my jail cell. But I can't get a hold of Raffen. He hasn't come here, and I don't think he can protect me anymore.
Oh, we've talked to him.
What did he say?
Well, we're kind of still figuring out how to help you.
He risked his
But
life.
he's the one that led us to finding you here. So.
Will you just, if I don't get out of here, just make sure he's okay?
We'll make sure you get out of here.
She looks hopelessly. No one gets out of here.
Okay, out of character. What was it that Q told us to find out from, like, the information? Because yeah, now we know what happened, but is that all we needed?
I think it was just like get the information to prove her innocence.
Which is, well, we have her testimony.
Yeah.
And it sounds like if we had a record of the statement that the prophecy thing, it sounds like we can convince them that it's more like a warning as opposed to a threat.
Which, wait, you mean a record of what she said?
Yeah, like a court, a transcript.
Or a recording inside of a bird person.
Yeah. Would be nice to have one of those.
Kuroka, did we ever tell you that you would make a great court transcriptionist?
Sorry. I got distracted. Sorry. Yes, I am able to record and repeat anything that I've heard.
Yeah.
So, asking and pointing out the exact moment you guys want to hear, Kuroka kind of like pushes as if he had like a play, rewind, and record button on his leg, but it's actually like nerves and funny bones. And he presses a button into his thigh and repeats what you need to hear.
Kuroga and his weird growths.
Next episode, Kuroka gets his cysts removed.
Well, wait. So, Bridgeford, are you still in the room with her?
Well, I'm at her room.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that her telling me anything or telling Kuroka anything is necessarily evidence. But I mean, somebody must have transcribed what she told the brothers, right?
True. Yeah, there's got to be some sort of record of it.
Yeah. Okay, so either I go back up and send Kuroka down here, or we find the evidence some other way. Or, I mean, you know.
I don't know what I said that second. I don't know what I said. We've been here
Yeah, that's right. Okay, she doesn't
about
know
a
what she
week.
said.
Right.
But I don't.
Where did you say? Do you remember where you were when you said it?
I was in the palace. I was trying to see if Orofin was there, but he wasn't, and I was trying to see if I could recognize any sympathizers, but I didn't. I think though. I think I said something about a brother betraying a brother because they wouldn't act so destructively on me otherwise. They're very protective of each other, and I think it must have had something to do with that if I know my history well.
That actually makes sense. Do you remember anyone who was there that we might be able to use as a witness?
You can't trust the police. You
Not the
can't
police.
you can't trust the guards. They were there. You can't. They're all in the pocket of the brothers. But it was the brothers and the royal guard. No citizens.
Oh, okay. They themselves would probably remember, though, right? The brothers themselves?
She says if they probably recorded it for sure. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
But it's funny how they didn't repeat it. It doesn't if you don't know what I said, then it doesn't seem like they wanted people to know what I said. They didn't tell there aren't rumors about what I said before. I saw my mother before I came here, and she just didn't know why I was gone and why these posters were up.
Oh, you mean the city doesn't really know why you're being executed then?
I get that idea. I mean, they know that it's for high treason, but they don't know what I did.
Okay, we could probably use that to get you out of here.
She sighed. It's a nice thought.
Yeah, okay. I'll say hi to the rest of the party for you. Does she know Esme?
No. She
Okay.
wouldn't, yeah.
All right. Oh, also, before I go, is Tizzy around here somewhere?
Oh. Tizzy and the others. They got separated from us. I told them to hide. I don't know what happened, but there shouldn't be any reason why they're not safe.
Did they make it to the city with you?
I made them separate from me before.
So they're not here.
last I saw them, they didn't follow me into the city.
Okay, I'll have to tell Brennick that.
Tell him that she was as strong as he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll take that very well.
Why? I mean, she was a strong fighter while we were
Oh no, I
traveling.
wasn't being sarcastic in character. Okay. Have faith. Bye bye. And then I start climbing again.
Not a very good prison.
You see her hand holding out until
Oh, is there anything I can leave with Druidcraft?
You can make flowers and stuff, right?
Yeah, I'll try to find a crack in the rock with like where I might be able to make a flower bloom.
yeah, you could do that with Druidcraft.
Oh, you're marking it. Gotcha.
Well, also because I want to give someone a nice flower to look at. Also, but the marking thing is also a good idea.
Sorry.
Yeah. So
Was
I
that
do
rude?
that.
No.
Yeah, I put the mic up to her nose because she's snoring.
Oh.
And then I start climbing.
And you make it back up to the other fellows. Yeah. Is there anything you peeps would want to do in the meantime of him doing
Okay.
all that?
So I relay all. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Before he
Not
does
get
them.
caught by the guards is pretty strong. I'm pretty into that idea. So just basically lying low.
Yeah, well, you're lying low, like being quiet, kind of sneaking in, like hovering in the grass. You just hear them talking about their lives, and then you hear, and this really interests Kuroka. He says, "Hey, man, you hear about this new order? This, I mean, they've been around a while, but this new church, they're giving blessings. Might go check it out."
Yeah, if you freaking pay them. I remember that church.
They're, my mom's not feeling so well lately, and trying to get her medicine, but it doesn't seem to be working. They seem. I hear a lot of good things around the realm, around Elysia. May the blessings be with brothers, but I heard they're from the west.
Kuroka's kind of looking inquisitively, waiting for him to say the name of the order, of the religious order.
He's says seems to have they came from a place called New Gulch. Have you ever heard of that place? Sad tragedy happened way back when.
Kuroka gets a little nervous hearing the word New Gulch.
History check. Brennick's smart.
Uh,
I don't know whether I would have read this book, but
Ooh.
would I know anything about New Gulch?
You've heard of New Gulch? It's a city on the edge of the country, or the island, in the west, like maybe like medium west, central west, and it was known for having like a lot of like there was you heard of a monastery there, but it wasn't like very famous. It wasn't like a big city.
More concerned about the tragedy that he mentioned.
Oh, you actually have not heard anything about it.
Cool. Good to know.
Just real quick, Christine, I'm thinking correctly that Kuroka does know about this tragedy, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Kuroka doesn't want to share it, but he's very uncomfortable hearing about this religious order.
Yeah, and he doesn't quite say the name, but a lot of things remind you of a place you've heard. But they said, yeah, this order they came and they found everyone had committed suicide in this monastery. Weird how cults are, huh? They took something horrible and they made something new and beautiful. Seems like. And the guy says, yeah, sounds pretty promising, actually. It'd be nice to try something new.
I guess Kuroka's gonna try to warn them not to go.
You're just gonna.
But
Okay.
it's gonna be hard for him. 'Cause yeah. As they're leaving, he's like, no, stop. Very lately.
What? All right.
I want to have taken the time, like, really kind of trying to scope out the guards and, like, what the arrangement is. Like, I want to, like, what kind of weapons do they have?
That's
See if I can
smart.
get, like, a pretty precise number of how many there are, like, tactical stuff like that.
Roll a perception check. And we'll finish up in a minute, but we'll keep going for now.
And great. Great
You-
rolls for me.
I mean, you do know enough about weapons to see that they're carrying pretty like simple but like beautiful weapons, nothing magical.
Mhm.
And you see that there are the 2 guards there, but you can't count how many people are in that house. But you know at least 3 more are in there.
Okay, but the guards that I can see just have simple weapons and
Mhm.
simple non-magical weapons. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
are they just there? Are they all elves or what are they?
They're mixed. They're mostly like human, maybe some
Okay.
half elves, but
Okay.
mostly like brawny people.
Yeah. Okay.
Some dwarves, maybe. I don't know. I don't know about dwarves yet. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Cool.
Do you? What else did you guys like to do?
Brennick's not really good at sneaking. I feel like it's not like sort of his thing. So he's just sort of like really nervously, like he's like sneaking very purposefully. Like that's all he's doing.
All right. So at this time, we'll say that Birchfruit makes it back and gives everyone a big hug and kiss. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
I mean, you don't have to be.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, nothing.
Oh. All right. Would you guys like to do anything else? Are you headed to back to the room? Are you gonna keep going?
Yeah, I give him all the information while we're heading back.
All right.
Tell Brennick sorry about it, sister.
I just feel like the deep sigh, and like it's just so frustrating because I try and get in contact with her, and all she tells me is she's safe, and I thought she was in prison with Nizzuri.
I mean, at least she's not gonna get executed, right?
Silver lining.
So you make your way back to the room, passing by the drunks and people finishing up, some travelers, and a familiar coat of arms catches your eye, Brennick. And as you continue to the room, you find slumped against the door your sister. She's sleeping, and hearing the footprint, the footsteps, she jumps up, she leaps up. You see it is in fact a brawnier version of Brennick, actually. She's just as tall, but more muscular slump doll. Sorry. And she does have a full, but she's missing her full head of curls. It looks like she at one point shaved her head, and she grabs you tight and says, "Oh my God, I thought you were dead."
That's my line. I saw. Do you want to end it there, or did you want to keep going?
No, you can. We can finish this.
Cool. That's my line. I saw you and Nizuri dead in the snow. Some blue man touched me, and I saw a vision, and it was the most scary thing I've ever seen in my life.
The blue man.
Yeah, blue magic man, I guess.
Her eyes get wide, and her face goes white. He came to me too, and he showed our family house destroyed and you in it. I was going to race back to Mirdad, but I didn't think I would make it. And I heard rumor that some strange travelers were staying in a too small room, and I just had to see if it was you.
It was. I'm glad you came check it out. But this blue guy seems to be yanking our chain, and that's not okay. I'm glad you're safe. Are your men safe as well? Did you bring anybody else, or is it just you?
Well, we left with a party of 6, and only 3 of us survived.
The journey here was not pleasant for us either. I'm sorry.
I don't know if I trust your friend. She's talked about a lot of dark things, and she made us carry the bodies of her friends for weeks before she let us abandon them.
Well, there's a reason for that, actually. In the wastes, when dead things are left out, things come to take them. And I'll just describe the devils that we saw. The chain devils, and they grab the corpses and all that.
I don't believe you. I don't believe that. It's too gross. It's too dark.
I get that you like solving your problems with a sword, but it's not just a thief or a murderer anymore.
We should still have some of the bloody coins, right? Or at least one of them.
You definitely have 2, I think.
Yeah. I think we have a couple at least.
These days, things aren't so simple as they were before, Tiz. Things are getting a lot more complicated, and I think Nizuri or Aranda has the answers that we need. She'll give us the edge that we need to maybe head off whatever disaster she says is coming.
I don't know. I watched 3 people die in front of us, and I don't think I just don't know anymore.
We'll come inside, get some rest. We all need to rest up too. There's nothing that we know for sure either. We thought you were dead. Did you send men to tell us to stop following you at the city of the dwarves?
Yes. We were going at breakneck speed. We were carrying our friends for miles and miles, and she wore Nizuri or Rhonda or whatever you call her. She kept saying that we were being chased, and the moment that we let these bodies go, something would come and take us. And we ran into these weird creatures in the Frost Barrens, and they killed 2 of our friends and injured another who limped his way until he couldn't do it anymore.
Oh yeah, we killed those, right?
Weird things
Yeah.
being the
Bearded devils.
we didn't kill those guys. We barely touched those guys. Oh no! Wait, no, we killed the bearded devils. We didn't kill the ones that came after them. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. it was not an easy journey. I understand. Hopefully, like I said, Nisri will be able to shed some light on this more than we know now, anyway.
I guess so.
And they'll sort of open the door and gesture inside so she can actually get some sleep.
She shakes her head and says, we're staying out in the forest.
Okay, that's fine. Just stay out of trouble. I'll shoot you a sending once a day. Make sure you respond with as much detail as you can. I want to make sure that everything stays good.
As soon as I find some more people for our party, we're going to head back. I don't like it here.
Hopefully we won't be staying for much longer either, given the whole, execution bit. We owe Nisri a bit of help and then we'll be hopefully heading back and away from this place as well. Stay safe on your way home.
Did you know that Mom's old band is here?
I didn't know. Her old band, you say?
She was in a band. And it's staying a couple miles more. She writes down the address, the name of the inn, the Sleeping Dragon Inn.
Might be worth checking them out. Maybe get some stories that Mum won't open up about. He sort of is messing with his ring that he has.
I didn't realize that she was in a band, but then they sang the song that I was in a bar and they were singing the nursery rhyme she always sang. And funniest thing is the guy looked so familiar, but so different.
Brennick sort of doesn't pale a little bit at that, but sort of realizes something funky's going on there, and he says, "That's what was he? Was the singer, the lutist, the flutist?"
He looked like a roadie.
The roadie. Interesting. That's good. That's so strange and so interesting. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, my real dad.
He said if I didn't tell him who I was, but they sang the weirdest song. It was about the world being torn apart from the center.
That seems quite ominous, and I feel like we're hearing a lot of those these days.
Yeah. It was a weird song, though. It was like when you tell stories, it wasn't just a song, it was a lot more than that.
Does it sort of is Archiram doing anything as this is mentioned at all, or is it just sort of does the song remind me of the notes that Archiram has rung out when I've hit with it?
You're not quite sure. The song that she's just your mom sang a lot of songs and she's describing this but she can't carry a tune in a bucket.
Right, exactly. Not the most musically inclined.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you. I won't leave without saying goodbye. And she gives you another long hug.
Yeah, big hug. And we'll say, you stay safe. I'll stay safe too. We need to get back to Mum, The others are probably lost without us.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up some work around here, see if I can't send some money home.
Sounds good.
She kind of gives you
I hand her she gave me gold before I left, I think. I'll hand her 25 gold right off the bat here. That should help, and make sure you drop this off with Mum when you get back.
She nods and gives you one last hug and nods at the rest of you and heads out.
Are you sure you don't want to stay? The room's not that small.
She kind of looks over at you and
Oh yeah, let me introduce everybody. By the way, I say at this point, and I introduce. This is Kuroka, Birchfruit, and Yurik.
Tizzy. She says,
Moo.
That's his way of saying hello when he's being cheeky.
well, I have to stay with my party. Kind of gives us a weak smile and head.
Actually, don't we still have another room in Halfling Town?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we never really left that in.
And that's
You're
not
at
far
the
away,
inn
right?
now, though. You're at the Halfling Town Inn right now.
Oh, I thought we were in the bigger hotel that I got us into.
Oh shit! I forgot. Oh my god, I totally forgot you guys got in a fancy hotel because you're the muse. All right. Well,
Oh, that's why the room was empty. Okay.
well, I guess your first night at the fancy hotel will start tonight. You'll have to move all your stuff there tonight, and that's where we'll pick up next session.
Excellent. Woo! What a trip. What an absolute trip. We met the leaders of another nation or city state, whatever we want to call them. They called me Gauche, I think. That was good.
All right, guys, I'm
Call
heading
you
to bed.
Nice,
All right,
man.
everyone. Good session.
Night,
We'll figure out
everybody.
when we'll play next.
Sounds
Night.
good.
Night.
Good
Night.
night.